I just they say I need a stylist, but I just need. They say it, and then you just look at it that way because my mum said I should watch it, and we're wrong, nothing to see there, and it's 1980, and the film is Alligator. I have not moved the camera to change the top of my head in any way. Welcome to 1980, Alligator. Technically speaking, not a mum said I could watch it film. This is one of those ones that somehow just stuck, maybe because of the urban myth of it, into primary school late night watching. The thing I really want to emphasize is that even before you could rent a film, video recorders from radio rentals had begun to infiltrate the home. We didn't own them ourselves. I remember one big deal being a teacher complaining, how could we have possibly watched Spitting Image so late at night? And then one of us just responding with, well, recorded it, didn't it? You know, at the age of about 9 or 10. Now, Alligator, for those of you who don't know it, people watch these things. Child is able to convince their parents while out in the bayou to buy them a baby alligator, because you can buy a baby alligator. The fact is, everyone knows it's going to die. Dad flushes it down a toilet, and the alligator grows to a size of superhuman size and strength while living in the sewer itself. What happens next is that you have the old couple love relationship of a veteran beat cop and alpha male over the hill who's worried about his male pattern baldness. Unlike me, I'm completely fine with it. Being able to discuss and then end up wooing the slightly neurotic and totally hot scientist who's been working in forensics and with lizards and animals. He needs to get over his baldness. She needs to get over her overbearing mother, who is hilarious as hell. While the alligator itself pursues the sort of Eat the Rich franchise meets Ferris Bueller at the end of the thing, just randomly appearing in people's backyards without anyone noticing it before, and just chomping preppy kids in ponds and businessmen and tycoons until it's finally destroyed. Of course, there is that bit right at the beginning where it's pretty obvious that it's eaten the rookie cop that was the only one who was going to stand up for him. Does it hold up as a film? Barely. On the one hand, the New York coiffy of it, that look into my good eye of the scientist's mum, is really great. The frailty of our macho cop is really played to the hilt. I would even argue that he's a proto John McClane. Not the John McClane who runs over airplanes and takes out helicopters with a car because he ran out of bullets. The I've got a vest and how did I get dumped here John McClane of the very first film. Our cop is that guy. He's worried about things. He's so blue collar. And he is quite anxious, and his last partner died. The fact is, everyone you meet is a character or an archetype, if not a stereotype, sadly, in some way. Even down to the sort of Deus Ex Machina of like laying the bomb that's gonna happen. Right at the beginning with the kooky guy going, on the radio. But guy comes in, says he's gonna blow up the station, and he's just got a timer. Obviously, that timer is totally adept at being attached to dynamite. That the cop, who is now an ex-cop at this point, steals and goes back. And that is why I say it barely. At 90 minutes, you have A Tale of Two Halves, which is great in terms of New York coffee. And there is a laugh there. There is the urban wryness, and there is the commentary on social satire that this alligator could possibly be. The alligator itself is quite remarkable to behold. Sometimes by how badly it's filmed, but sometimes by the fact that you've really put time in me believing that man's leg is in that Plastosaurus's trunk. Unfortunately, what beds it down is the secret origin of the alligator. The cover up the scientist kind of knows about because of genetically oversized hamsters that this alligator would have been eating since it was a baby. So they both lose their jobs. That element could have done without. I think that the alligator didn't need to have any sort of specific corporate origin. I think the fact is you could have recast the role rather as a, sort of a reptile, or I know there's a real term for reptileologists. Okay, Charlie Bond is banned from the comments. But they go along that route that doesn't really lead anywhere and probably pads it out for a good 10 minutes. It is 90 minutes, but it sadly feels a little bit longer for it because of that. Having said that, though, as a casual view, death counts count. The alligator does what an alligator does. There is a Roald Dahl element in that it's just eating the naughty kids by and large, except for Duncan, who just, gets bullied into jumping off a platform into a pond that has a massive alligator in it. The fact that these kids didn't notice there's a massive alligator in it is just a bit too Roald Dahl for me. It works. I think it's worth a watch. I think it's worth you checking it out, but I really don't blame you if you don't see it all the way through. You'll know whether or not you've hit the tone within the first 15 minutes. Now, would I watch it again? No. Did I enjoy watching it now? Yes. When I think about having watched it as a kid, all I remember is the fact that it was a little alligator that was thrown into the thing, and then us all going, oh, but then there was another little alligator at the end. It's wry, but it's not laugh out loud. It is smug in a bougie way about its urban commentary, but the alligator does bite out of things. It is as alligator AF. And while I'm not one to forgive stuff from when it was made, I would say the production values for what was ostensibly a TV movie, now really 40 years ago, over 40 years ago, does give it some merit. Check it out. Get it on a free view. Wouldn't subscribe for it. Wouldn't pay for it. And you might be surprised by its bite. If you're someone who's a bit jaded with archetypes, then I'd say, you know what, give this a miss. There is a sense of this is trope on a rope, but could be argued it's where the tropes came from. Okay, guys, that's it from me tonight. Don't forget, always clean your ears and be good.